Hey, I just want to get as much money as I can. Just pay me. Pay me because I need to be paid. I'm talented. I got it like that. It's just talent. I get paid because I'm special. The Lord loves me. I'm one of his favorite children. I need that money. How much money can you realistically make with storage auctions? Well, I'm going to tell you. Hold tight, kid. Hey, this is Glendon with Making Money with Storage Unit Auctions. The title of this video, how much money realistically can you make in the storage unit auction business today? As you know, Auction Hunters came on first, Storage Wars, and coming June 21st, Storage Hunters. Essentially, the cat has been out the bag since October, November, something like that. And it is no longer the secret hiding place of antique dealers, flea market dealers. And the real question is, can you realistically expect to make money in this business with the heightened level of competition? My answer would be yes. I'm going to be paying more money for the units, whether they're good or not. That's the facts. That's how it's going to be. And in one way, it sucks. In another way, it doesn't. In business, conditions change. I did a video about this before, and I'm going to just go into it. There's a ton of bitching and moaning about people that have been in the business for years and years and years, and they're pissed and they're upset and they're disenchanted. They're just ready to strangle all these producers. This happens in the American economy all the time. Before we were born, there was a blacksmith in every town square because everyone needed a horse, and it was just part of maintaining a horse. Car came along. People laughed. People like, I'll never get off my horse. How many horses do you see running around right now that aren't out in the country? Hold on. I'll wait. I mean, seriously, who rides a horse? It was a huge part of the fabric of the American culture, and it's gone. What I'm trying to tell you, change is the only constant in life. Get over it. It's going to change. That's life. Things change. I know you're going, yo, Glendon, yeah, it's easy for you to talk. And to you who would say that, I'm going to say you're very lazy. Because if you would hit the playlist, which is down below, and you'll go back from August 2009, before any of these shows were on, before there was any buzz or anything about it, I gave you the real deal about this business and my challenges and the things I went through. Yes, it was easier for me than it will be for you. But because it was easier for me doesn't mean the business was easy. It wasn't like, hey, I just walk up and people threw money at me. I wish. For real, I really do. That's not the case. I mean, seriously, not at all. It didn't happen like that. So, all the bitching and the moaning and the whining, get over it. If you really want to get in this business, you can still make money. Now, let's break this down. You spend $300, you spend $400, say you spend $1,000 a month. And after all expenses, fuel, labor, eBay fees, whatever, merchant account fees, and at the end of the month, you're sitting on a profit of $1,100, $1,200, $1,500 profit. That's what, the stuff that goes in your wallet, which you can use to pay your bills, buy stuff. That's $1,500 you didn't have before. Because this is the thing that I believe is the problem. People are really pissed that it is not so easy to get one of those one-in-a-lifetime jackpot body unit, make $950,000. As I said before, that wasn't a weekly event. That wasn't a monthly event for me. I didn't make $150,000 off of one unit. Nope, never happened. Not saying it can't happen to you, but just being realistic. I didn't make millions and millions of dollars off this business. I did very well, but part of that is you must marry the business with good financial management skills, because I'm telling you, there's some of you right now, I'm talking to you, if you received $1 million cash tomorrow, this time next year, you would be broke. Why? Because you blow the money you have now. What, you think because you're going to get $1 million that all of a sudden you're going to develop these savvy and wonderful financial habits? Get out of here. Stop lying because you're saying, oh yeah, I would do things different. No, because if you're blowing your money now, you will blow the $1 million, and that's the problem. People are so wedded to what I call grand slam home run mentality. You know, if you don't hit a grand slam, it ain't even worth playing the game. So for the people who have realistic expectations, and this is the breakdown, you can make realistically right now, 2011, 500 to 2,000 a month in this business. You right now, that's what you can do as profit. Will it be easy? Nope. Will you work your ass off? Yep. Will you be buying some shitty units at times? Yep. But if you're a person that you don't have options, and some people are going to hit jackpot units. I put up a few weeks ago, dude bought a unit with $1 million comic book in it that was stolen from Nicolas Cage. It was at a storage unit auction. I believe Dan Dotson conducted the auction out there in California. So all the stuff about it ain't in there, that's bullshit. It's just not in every unit. So let's go back to the basics. You know, 300, 400, 500 to 2,000 a month, part-time. Now, how would this happen? Number one, if you live in a large metropolitan area, you have a better shot than someone out in the boonies. Realistically, it's all about the numbers. Most of America lives in metropolitan areas or close there, close to those areas. That's half to 60% of the country lives in just certain parts of the country. So your huge metropolitan areas, and if you don't know what that is, Google it because there's a breakdown. And I will tell you, I didn't know, and I'll give you one. Phoenix, Arizona is huge. I didn't know it was that huge. But that's where education comes in. So number one, you live in a huge metropolitan area. Number two, you have certain resources already. What I call soft assets. If you're a person that a lot of people really like and know, or you've had a business and you have a lot of customers, by getting in this business, then spreading that merchandise to your customer base, you'll be much further ahead than someone who's just getting in the game raw. Someone getting in the game raw, no business, a total neophyte, never had their own business, really sucked at garage sales, really no get up and go, no initiative. They've never had a business. That's total raw. You, based upon your talents, are going to have it harder than someone who's already been in a business before. That's just realistic. Doesn't mean you won't be successful at some point. Also, time. My business was, when I say part-time, the first years were part-time because I was experiencing the crap that many of you are experiencing, people running me up. I mean, this was one dude I nicknamed Ric Flair, just ran my ass up on some garbage out in College Park. $300 for this 5x10. Everyone was laughing. That at best was a $25 unit. This was 7 years ago, 8 years ago, and I got toasted like that. So after those first 2 years and after I built the business, I tripled my income the third year. This whole thing about, hey, I'm broke. My job's about to end. I need money now. Like those J.G. Whitworth, it's my money and I need it now. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. If you want to make money, you can. If you want to get into business, you can. This is my advice. If you don't want to buy a book, because it has been statistically proven that people that pay for their education, either through indentured servitude, blowing your own money, starting a business, or going to school and taking a course, do financially better than people who wing it. That's statistically proven. You can look it up. You can check it up because every Fortune 500 company started in the basement, when they got to a certain level, they brought in key people with experience. If they didn't do that, they wouldn't have made it to the next level. You can't get around it. You have to educate yourself one way or another. The cheap way to do it, the free way to do it, hit my playlist. It's 185 videos. And, if I'm going to say this, if you're just curious, if you don't really think that you're going to be really about your business, don't buy the book. Don't buy it. It's not going to help you. Don't buy the book. If you're serious, buy the book and do as much research as you can online. It's free. I get little alerts and stuff to the blogs, and this is what you do. Go to Google and put in a Google alert, storage unit auctions, storage unit auction books. Every time something hits the web, you get it in your mailbox and you'll be informed. Do all that. Spend a good month just going through all this free information and deciphering what's good, what's not. Here's a tip. Any blog that tells you it's easy is full of shit. Did you hear me? I mean, if they say it's easy, they're full of shit. Again, for the people in the back who are not paying attention, if they say it's easy, they're full of shit. They were never in the unit. Here it is, May going into June. If you're in the unit, a hallway unit, it's about 90 degrees outside, bet your last dollar it's going to be 110 in there, and you're moving stuff and sweat's rolling down your back, through the crack of your ass, down your pants, onto the floor? Anyone thinks that's easy is on crack. So that's your first tip. Anything's easy. The word riches. Okay? If there's riches in there, this is how the storage auction lifestyle is. You get up, you do your due diligence, you make your phone calls, and you go on the auction trail. It's a lot of waiting around. It's a ton of waiting around. Actually, in a 8 to 10 hour storage auction day, going to auctions, essentially an hour of that time, if you have enough units, is actually focused on bidding on units. An hour. The other 8, 9, 10, you're waiting around or driving from location to location. That's the business. About a marathon. It's about spending a lot of time twiddling your thumbs and staying mentally sharp when that unit pops open, because I'm going to tell you, in the beginning, before these shows, I made my money simply because I had patience. It used to be people would miss the first auction. I hear that still happens. So I made a point that I would make sure I would be at those first auctions. I got a killer unit in Alpharetta, Alabama Road. People were pissed. First unit, it was this place, and they normally cancel. A lot of people didn't go. They had one unit. The lady at the facility, it was a store all. She didn't know the size. She's like, I don't know. We're just having the unit. I don't know. We're having the unit. I don't know. We're just selling the unit. I don't know. We're just selling the unit. I don't know the size, man. Stop asking me that. Y'all always ask me that. By staying mentally sharp, I called. And I called 4 times. And the 5th time, I got the relief manager. And I said, hey, I understand you don't know what's in there. How big is it? And he said, hold on. I can't really tell you. I won't probably tell you. But it's a 10 by 30. Really? Okay. So I took my brown butt up there. It was a Jerry Doan auction. And Jerry told people at the next auction, you should have been there. He got a killer unit cheap. $500 for a 10 by 30, loaded from the rooter to the tutor. Bunch of auctions going on. Everybody's out, but they didn't make that first auction. Understand, because you're hearing about, oh, how good I had it. There's a story in there, and there's a lesson if you want to listen. There's a lesson in there if you want to listen. So, made that first auction, didn't buy nothing the rest of the day, didn't know what I had no clue. All I knew was based on, and I was laughing all day because I saw people paying $800 for 10 by 10s, $1,200, $2,000 for 10 by 20s, and I'm like, man, I got 10 by 30 for $500. Get in there, I made $4 grand off that unit because I got my ass up early. Tip 2, stay in the auction. Breaking off, if you spend your money and there's no point in you staying, I understand. But tip 2, in the beginning, I made a lot of money by staying around to the last auctions. Back in the day, this doesn't work anymore. There's too much competition. But in certain small markets, it will still work. And certain unadvertised auctions, it still will work. Just hung out, kept my money in my pocket, didn't spend, saw something, and I was like, okay, we've been here. You want to buy that, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a better unit, and you're going to be pissed that you blew your capital on this. So, held my money. And then, bam, buy 5, 6, 7 units, end of the day. And this is something else. You will notice on the auction trail, a lot of people do not have pen and paper. You'll see a few. When you see what a unit goes for, write it down. That's a tip. That's a very valuable tip I gave you. Write it down and extrapolate the information later on. It will tell you volumes about your competition. I'm giving you some gold here how to make money. The problem is it's hard work. It's diligence. It's endurance. It's dedication. It's staying on top and working your hardest and doing your best when shit's going sideways. That's the reason that so many people in this country are not successful. We used to have thousands, no, millions of people that put their ass to the grindstone every day, and that's why this country was great, because people were making it. Now it's like, I can't do it. If you're not going to spoon feed it to me, if you're not going to dip it in there and put it in my mouth, then move my lips so I can chew, it's too hard. It's too hard. Even with all the competition, with all the stuff that's going on, you can still make money if you have a plan, you educate yourself, you know this is about endurance. It's not a sprint. You keep your composure about yourself and stick with it. You'll make money. Like I'm saying, at 500 to 2,000 profit, that is not gross sales. Gross sales may be 6, but that's your profit. It all depends on how you run your business, because a lot of people have leakage. But that's very doable right now. The other day I gave you a great tip about what's coming. And this happens every year. And people are, hey, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. If you are buying it, then selling it real quick, you don't know how to run the business. And it's going to bite you in the ass. Because here's another tip. It's the summer. This is Friday. This is Free Friday. Every heater that you get from this point on, you hold on to it. And when it gets cool, do you sell them? No! You wait until it's cold. That first real cold snap. And then a week later when it hits again, that's when you sell your heaters. Because it won't be any of this, hey, can I get it? No, it's I need some heat. And you get your price. If it's priced fairly for the market, you get your price. Another thing, summer, people throw them away. Leather coats. Take all your leather coats that you get from this point on down until like October, depending on where you are. Find some place in your house and hang them up on a nice hanger. Don't just fold them up because leather will wrinkle. Hang them up, nice hanger. Make sure that the shoulders don't have the humps. And just stack them and wait. This is gold. There's so many things that you can do this summer that's going to pay off huge in the winter, even with all this craziness. But see, we live in a society that is all about ding. That's how you expect your life to be. And those who really make it big in life know that it's more like you saw on that log, and it takes you an hour to saw all the way through because you're using your hands and you getting calluses and your hand hurts from. The folks that realize that's the process that's going to make them successful will get it. Can you make money in this business right now in 2011? Yes. 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 Is it going to put you on easy street? Possibly, depending on what kind of units you got. Will it give you more money than you have now? Yep. If you buy correctly, have a plan. Because the thing is, you just can't go out there like, hey, I got 2,000 and just start buying units. You have to educate yourself. You really need to. And that's what I'm finding out, because if some people are new, and I'm going to start saying this. If you ask me a question that is in the playlist, when I respond to you, I'm going to respond with the playlist. Because this week has been crazy. It's been a lot of questions, a lot of the same questions. I'm like, hey, I'm even being just an ass. I'm like, if you think this sounds like a canned response, because it is, because I'm copying and pasting that response and go to the playlist. It's free. It costs you your time. That's it. There's a lot of gold in there. And for those who are in the business that listen to this video, they're like, that's the business. I'm telling you, You got to start thinking long term. You just this whole it's today and it needs to happen today and I need to get my 10 grand today so I can go out and ball out and buy the bar out and do all this stuff. You're not going to make it with that type of mentality. You're just not, because things are getting worse economically. If you look in the financial markets, this whole thing with gold, the reason there are all these stores popping up is like, we buy gold, is because this fiat currency thing that we got going on, most fiat currencies implode within 40 to 70 years. 1971, so we're in that 40-year mark. And Ben Bernanke and crew, I mean, and understand, it's not just Ben. It's all these money guys around the world propping up whatever. Well, actually, Euro's kicking our ass, and actually a lot of other, because George is like poof, 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 poof. Like, what the hell? I used to be kicking ass. I'm getting my ass kicked. Damn, maybe I should have told a lie. But that's the deal. This whole hocus pocus financially that's going on, at some point, they may level it out, but any way you slice it, we are in for prolonged hard times for the majority of Americans. There's a group of Americans right now who've never been touched by this recession. They're doing fine. They're buying BMWs, Porsches, building big ostentatious houses because they didn't feel this at all. But they're well educated, well connected, or they have something very unique to offer the world. Or they inherit their money. If that ain't you, partner, it ain't me, then you got to work. Understand, you can make money in this business, but you have to treat it like a business. One of my earlier videos, I was talking about that. There's a lot of people that treat storage auctions as a hobby. It's a hobby. It's something fun to do. 90% of the people who claim they want to do this as a business have the mindset of Barry on Storage Wars. He's just looking for the big hit. He's out for the thrill. He's done. I think he's retired and he just comes out for fun. He's an interesting dude. I got to give him that because he's funny as hell. And I thought he was going to come up on a little something out there in Las Vegas with that girl because he was clearly feeling her. And she kind of feeling him. So who knows? Maybe Barry got lucky. Possibly. But that's the deal. You can make a certain amount of money. Now, on the business tip, can you make 6 figures? Yes, you can. But you got to do a totally different business. You just can't just do what you're doing. Now, there are some people who live way out in Timbuktu or the boondocks that live in a town where they do not have the municipality that's like tripping by yard sales, and they're having a garage sale every week. And I have a student who took the first Storage Auction U webinar out in Timbuktu every weekend. Garage sale. He has a property, he has a house, and he has a barn. Every weekend, he has a garage sale. And this dude has to travel to get his inventory. I'm not going to tell you who he is or where he goes, but he has to travel. So he made that commitment where he is not in his bed 3 or 4 nights a week because he's out buying inventory. Pulls it back to his small town. He is the man. Now, I'm going to tell you what he makes. I can tell you that because we talked about it. He only makes, after all is said and done, paying for gas, paying for help, he clears about $1,000 to $1,200 a week. Now, where he is, that's living large. In Chicago, you might be struggling on that. But where he is happier than a pig in slop, as he said it. He is thrilled. Got all his bills caught up, putting money away. He's buying silver. He's keeping all the gold that he's got. And he's happy. Look at what your financial threshold is, because everyone's like, I want to make as much money as possible. Player, that ain't good enough. You need to say, I want to make $2,000 a month, which is 24 grand a year, and I want to do X, Y, and Z with the money. A lot. What do you mean, what can I do? I'm cute. What?